Hello, hello, hello. So, greetings, guys. I usually don't do these morning live streams. I just felt it was necessary to get you guys accustomed to seeing stuff like this because right now, if you can, let's zoom in on here really quickly. You can see the futures are down. S&P is down negative 2.45%. The Dow's down 800 points at a 2.46%. NASDAQ's down 3%. And the Russell is down negative 2.52%. Okay. So I briefly hinted into this yesterday regarding a invasion in Ukraine. Just gonna add this in here really quickly here so I can see your guys' comments. Russia invades into. All right, so let's go ahead and do this here. Okay. So long story short here, what's happening right now is overnight, Russia decided to go in and started to do some drilling activities into Ukraine. And this is going to be for my course members that are in the Mastering Stock Market course, as well as my Patreon supporters that are in the Al Stock Alerts. So a lot of you are probably wondering, how do I deal with this? What do I do? Do I dollar cost average? I usually don't do these things, but I think now it's appropriate. And this, I may get attacked for this because it's kind of very difficult to say this, but I would considering looking at put options and trying to essentially, as the market goes down, essentially purchase particular companies that are a little bit overvalued. So we're going to be going a little bit into that, but let me just first start off here. It's definitely upsetting. We should understand that as we're making money on the downside, understand that it's this is there are people's lives that are being changed right now. So, but my job here at Al Stock Trades is to show you what the big money's doing. The big money is doing this right now. So I'm going to show you. Okay, so absolutely 0 to 10. Clover Health did a wonderful earnings report. Wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and show you some bearish reversals here. I recommend using our AI tool for my students. I'm going to show you how to use this right now to essentially make money on the downturn. But let me just quickly go in and turn into what's going on with Russia right now, okay? So this is a quick little analysis of what's happening, where are the U.S. troops, where are the Russian troops, where are the Ukrainian troops, and what's going on in the matter right now. So essentially 800 troops were deployed in Estonia in these areas here. They're kind of scared that perhaps maybe Russia might get a little thirsty and start going into these areas here. So U.S. is starting to back this up, and with Poland troops here, Germany's coming in, and a lot of troops are surrounding Ukraine right now. And unfortunately, it may seem that Russia's endgame is to cripple the Ukrainian government by using cyber attacks to, essentially break down their banking system. If you try going to their banking, for us, United States, so essentially like if you want to go to wellsfargo.com, Bank of America and whatnot, imagine you logging in and you can't access your money. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to instill panic and fear and essentially break down the system here. So long story short, Putin's endgame is to replace, I believe, the Ukrainian presidency and replace him with a pro-Russian government, essentially putting it on the map that whoever joins NATO is going to be met with destruction, okay? So, yeah, Marcus. So, we already knew a short-term recession was going to happen. I actually was talking about it in November, October, when the Feds were going to do a taper increase with taper tantrums and all these other things. Today, we're going to be discussing put options and essentially how to make money on the way down. There are a couple of technical analysis indicators, such as a death cross and a head and shoulders pattern that was initiated on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So we're going to go in and take a look at all these, but I just wanted to go over what's happening right now. So these are key city regions in Ukraine that you may hear on the news. So I just wanted to show you kind of the demographic right now, because, you know, sometimes Americans don't really know too much about the geography of what's happening here. Here's the separatist region. Russia essentially decided to acknowledge these people as their own sovereign country, which allowed, and then obviously they're pro-Russian, they allowed Russia to go in and essentially do their training and drilling activities. You may have heard a lot about, you know, Nord Stream 2, Nord Stream pipelines. Well, these, so the dashed ones are essentially developing pipelines, but Russia's a really big supplier of oil in the EU region. And, you know, this is not like the Middle East where we could, you know, I'm Middle Eastern, where essentially you can attack the region and it's not really going to topple the global economy. Russia actually plays a bigger role than what a lot of people expect them to play. They play a huge role in trade. And even the small country here, Ukraine, we'll see exactly what they export. But long story short, Putin did this at the exact time where inflation was at its highest, and Europe, even Germany, had to basically, one YouTuber, I believe Tom Nash, said it perfectly. He said, essentially, Germany had to, I think he said this, Germany had to stab themselves in the chest and say, we are not going to use your oil, when in reality, that actually hurts them more. Good up, you know, as what's, you know, that's good for them for standing up for the right cause, but this is going to cause inflation to soar, right? So here's a little bit of an analysis of what are the already major pipelines feeding into the EU, as well as planned pipelines such as Nord Stream 2 and also the Turk Stream here. So we can see that they're trying to cancel this one here, when in reality, Russia has been planning this invasion for a long time. So these are essentially all of the Russian military activities that are happening right now with Russian military sites in a darker red here and temporary sites in a more brighter red here. And I wanted to show you they're doing some stuff in the Black Sea, just to give you an understanding, because I don't think the news is going to be covering this as in depth as I'm going to do. Well, that's the thing. Putin, most people don't know, but Putin was part of the KGB. He ascended his ranks. The gentleman, you know, I wish that if people, even our own country, wasn't so money hungry, I would love to use his brain for the art of good. Imagine what his brain can do. I mean, honestly, but sadly, it's focused on the legacy of the USSR and all these other, you know, problems that's going to cause people to die. So here's Boris Johnson. And essentially, he said, I'm appalled by the horrific events in Ukraine, and I have spoken to President Xi to discuss next steps. President Putin has chosen a path of bloodshed, and he did, and destruction by launching his unprovoked attack on Ukraine. The UK and our allies, United States, Canada, Japan, will respond decisively. So what's happening right now is that the Russian stock market is plunging, just like ours, right? But as you can see, it's definitely falling, right? And that's in a mixture of uncertainty and also the US sanctions as well. But Russia has already planned for this. They don't care. You know why they don't care? I showed this yesterday. It's because the US debt owned by Russia, right? So back in 2018, you can see obviously there's a downward trend here that we can see a very sweep drop here. Now, if you don't know what this is, countries buy off debt from other countries. Like Russia is essentially buying United States debt because United States is obviously not, you could call it's the Federal Reserve currency. So we know we're not buying debt from Joe Schmo, right? We're buying from someone who pays their debt as a first world, or, now we call them developed country. But we can see that a dramatic decrease in this was essentially they just stopped it, right? And then Putin has been planning this invasion for a long time. In fact, I think the coronavirus actually stalled this invasion as Putin had other things to deal with, right? So this has been 5 years in the making, guys. And if you follow the numbers, you can see for yourself that this is a crazy how political chess is being played as we speak. But so long story short, the reason why he deleveraged himself is that U.S. sanctions are not going to do anything. The United States cannot stop Putin unless they get into a full-blown war. Okay, so here's the budgeted debt crisis, the equation here. So you can see that as governments added more essentially debt, Russia has been essentially deleveraging itself. And it's making itself not, again, this, look at that, look at this. As we're increasing spending, all these policies that unfortunately within the current administration they're just increasing. We're going in, and Russia's actually stabilized its economy to a point where the UK, US, Japan, unfortunately, they can't do nothing. Putin's going to do what Putin's going to do. One of the Dumb and Dumber movie actors. Nice. I read all your guys' comments. So essentially what has Putin been doing? So he sold out of the U.S. owned debt. So where did he put his money in? Well, he put his money in gold, guys, right? So he put in gold. So his gold increases have been going up. And if you analyze what's the prices of gold now, you can see that gold is basically on its way up. We're already up 3.3% on gold right now. And essentially silver and all the precious metals, and the VIX is up, the volatility index is up as well. And if you look at the crude oil is up 8.35%. Understand this. We talked about this in our exclusive daily briefings at Al Stock Alerts. If you guys have not had access to this, there'll be a link down below to have access to these. We already told our course members and our members that essentially we should hedge ourselves with this particular conflict by buying up particular undervalued oil stocks. In fact, I put a sell order in for ExxonMobil the other day, and it was a beautiful 32% increase. And another one we just put up is gold, ticker symbol GOLD, which Warren Buffett bought a few 2 years back. He ended up selling, but I think it was a wrong move. It's gold mining stocks are essentially going to be increasing a lot. So we try to help our members and our clients by giving them stocks that are hedging their portfolio. I appreciate that 0 to 10. I really do. I try to bring you guys really academics, presented information. This is only my third live, so this is all new to me. So I'm just kind of jumping in and kind of swimming along here. But this is exactly what Russia has been doing. They've been buying gold. Putin is doing everything correctly. I know that you're like, what? No, he's invading a country. But if there was a correct way to invade, he's doing it. Okay, I know that sounds really weird, but he's doing it because guess what? Every time crude oil increases, the consumer price index increases as well, and it cripples the U.S. economy. And even if we start crippling the U.S. economy and the stock market drops, people start getting laid off, can the Federal Reserve start printing more money? No, right now the Federal Reserve's hands are tied, right? So we may enter even a stronger recession. And what essentially Putin is trying to do, and this is what Iran said before, and a lot of other countries that may not like the United States are saying, you know what, United States, why don't you deal with your problems and you let us do, why are you always having your nose in other people's countries, right? Well, now they're making it even more evident, and they're hurting the USA because USA needs to help its own country right now, because if it doesn't, we are going to get affected. But here's the other problem right now, and this goes into China, and I'm going to go into that really briefly. But China now may start to invade Taiwan. And if that's the case, say goodbye to your normal American life, right? Inflation, we're going to have supply chain issues. We're going to have so many issues right now if China invades Taiwan. Why do we care about Taiwan? Because that's where all the, that's the major chip manufacturer. And now that we're on an S-shaped boom, where technological services, look at you, you guys are streaming. We've changed as a society. Tech has become a bigger part of our life. A lot of it comes out of Taiwan, right? So imagine that, China going in, and obviously China and Putin are collaborating, and guess who's in the middle of that? Iran as well, which no one's talking about right now, okay? So now we know why Putin has been buying gold, and also the oil as well, because he's OPEC plus. And this comes into this graph here. This is the surging inflation being felt by a lot of countries. And as you can see here, the world is on its knees with inflation, and Putin is striking at the right time. And the beautiful part about this, in terms of the elegancy of this chess, not the unfortunate outcome for the Ukrainian people, is that as he's attacking Ukraine right now, he's losing money in the stock market. Over $100 billion has been wiped out, but he's also making money in oil because the USA and everyone, they're still buying oil from him, and he's just making money as the price of oil increases. So another thing that's going to affect the economy, and again, we like to, at Al Stock Trades, we like to provide you, it's not just about Clover Health and CLOV stock. Most people are like, why is my CLOV stock going up? Going down, or what X, Y, and Z stock is going down? Well, because it affects the global, it's not just the stocks, guys, it's the whole economy as a whole. And as you can see here, Ukraine and Russia account for 1/4 of the global exports when it comes to grains. Look at, here's Ukraine with 63 million tons here, and then 40 tons of in terms of for Russia. Guys, he's attacking. He's already a prime exporter of this, and then now Ukraine is an exporter as well. So you're starting to see that this is going to hurt the economy, and we're already starting to see the food inflation fears creep up to levels that we haven't seen in a while. Look at this, guys. Not just that. Look at the grocery shock. Things are getting out of control when it comes to food commodities, and it's going to hurt the United States as well. We are going to be feeling this. And then the wheat surge as well. Look at the wheat surge. We haven't seen these levels since 2012, right after the 2008 crisis here, right? So these are all things that are going to get worse once Ukraine goes down. And the ultimate goal, as I said, is to make Ukraine, essentially turn Ukraine into a pro-Russian government. That's his main goal. And by doing that, he is going to essentially send a message to Poland and all the other areas out there that, hey, if you make a move, expect worse things to happen, right? Here's the corn crunch, what's going on right now. Everything's increasing. Aluminum is at its highs. And you might say, well, pardon me, you might say, why aluminum? Why is that? Well, think about it, guys. Russia is the major supplier of key raw materials. And here's aluminum right here. All of these are going up now, and especially gold. They've been hoarding gold for a while. They've been, I'm telling you guys, this is a strategic planned attack. And in terms of, this is the ruble and price per dollar. It's been going down per dollar. So as their currency goes up per dollar, that means their currency is being devalued. But it doesn't matter, because at the end, it's going to work out for him, because no one can stop him. Bitcoin has been going down. So a lot of people, a lot of very veteran traders and long-term investors, we're starting to see hey, is Bitcoin truly a hedge of a safety asset? No, from what I see now, Bitcoin's dropping and gold is going up. So it's an archaic type response, right? And you can see that gold is actually the preferable asset, right, as of right now. I expect Venezuela to be buying the dip right now, right, the president. So now we get into the unfortunate part, right? So China, everyone has condemned Russia except China. China has not condemned Russia. And you know why? Well, again, if you follow the numbers, the numbers will not lie to you. So if you by disrupting trade flows, essentially, Russia will affect major global economies. We already went over that. But look at Russia's main trading partners. Again, Germany had a hard time doing this, but Biden made Germany do it because Germany is the second biggest trading partner for Russia. Germany's out. United States is out. United Kingdom's out, all right, and all these other ones that are U.S. allies. But China, look at China. They have been China. They are so dependent on China right now, and obviously China supports Russia. They have a strong connection, guys, right? And if this is a coordinated attack where China goes into Taiwan, we haven't seen these movements since back in the 40s and 50s when you're seeing multiple countries collaborate, and this is it's an unfortunate thing, and so that the numbers speak for themselves. IMF predicts that we may have moderate growth, but it's definitely we could see it slowing down in terms of the forecasted growth for the global growth as a whole. Geopolitical risks right now, we already know that the NASDAQ is down. However, through some technical analysis, you can start to basically see that we've encountered a death cross in the NASDAQ. And what that basically means is it's a really reliable bearish indicator that essentially tells us that we're going to be expecting more downtrend. And obviously, this is when the death cross happened. You can see that it unfortunately is coming to fruition here, right? Not just that, we've also seen a head and shoulders pattern. You can imagine here's the head, you can draw the eyes and the nose, and here are the shoulders here, right? We can see this pattern here, and that tells us that we are going to also have a bearish technical analysis indicator showing us that may be that we're going to go down as well. And this is indicative in the RSI as well, the relative strength index, which essentially goes from 30 to 70, 70 meaning overbought, and then 30 here being oversold. And this was priced in around, the upper 4400s here. And as you can see, it's coming into fruition as well. So I leave you guys with this one here, and then I'm going to show you what to do. So what should we do when it comes to this essentially catastrophe that we're living through right now? Well, first off, don't panic, right? We've seen worse things in terms of wherever you're at. Look, for Ukraine, this is the worst thing that they've experienced. This is a dark moment and dark history of in Ukraine. Very sad. But in terms of our dark moments like Pearl Harbor and whatnot, you can start to see that the stock market crashes, right? But in terms of the S&P 500 total return, but after 143 days, we get a bottom, and then a recovery is 307 days. So these types of bear markets, and we're starting to enter one, is actually very healthy for the stock market. But just understand that if you're down on a position, for example, if you buy a stock at $2 and it goes down to $1, you lost half of your money. But if someone buys a stock for $1 and it goes up to $2, that's 100%. Right? So essentially what that basically means is that you need more to go up than to go down. So if you have high conviction stocks, trying to buy and sell in and out of the market is going to leave you left dry. Okay? Because we already know we are always going to recover. And if we don't recover, just like what Albert Einstein says, after this war, we're probably going to be fighting with sticks, right? If it does come to that, right? But it won't. No country is foolish to do that. But understand that if it won't, there will be a recovery. Okay. So what do we do with this, and how do we make money off of this? Unfortunately, this is a stock channel, so I have to revert back to the Al stock trades here. Exactly. You're only down if you sell. So now let's talk into business. Okay. So it's very upsetting. But again, this is a stock market channel. This is not a news channel. I mean, if you like me talking about the news, let me know. Give me feedback, right? But it's news changes so much, so it's very difficult. But right now, this is our artificial intelligence platform. So a lot of our students, course members, Mastering Stock Market, Al Stock Alerts, you can find it down in the description below in courses, and also membership for Patreon. This, to get access to this, it's literally less than $9.99 a month, and you get access to literally all of this information that I'm about to show you right now. And basically, for the beginners in the market right now, what's the best thing that you guys can do is essentially try to understand these auto AIs or AI autos. And like, for example, this was yesterday, and the artificial intelligence model that we have is starting to predict a bearish trend. It gives you entry points that are 2,500. You enter at this and you short the position. Your stop loss would be a higher number, of course, and your target would be here, and your potential profit would be 12.86%. Find other ones that are, for example, this is a good scalp. These are scalp trades here. You would enter Google again, and you would enter at a different price, and then your potential profit would be 11.24%. You want to follow these here because stocks are going down in the downtrend. And I've seen a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers out there saying, how could you talk about puts? And, there's people, when you make your money, there's people out there that are stuff. Why? I understand that. I get that. But you're an investor, and my job is to show you what big money is doing today, and big money is going to be buying puts. Congress and the SEC can establish a no putting option because of this dilemma, but they're not going to. It's a free market, so that's not going to happen. And if it does, I'll be very surprised. So puts are going to be bought out today. Okay, understand that. So once the market opens, you guys are going to be for the people that are in our program, and if you're interested in our program, you can cancel at any time. It's only $9.99 a month. It's literally, I'm giving this is obviously a $2,400 software that you pay every year, and it's very expensive, and it's very, I'm literally giving it for free practically, along with all the other stuff. So you use this to make money on the downturn. You're going to also have some these particular bullseyes, and one of our course members ended up purchasing Lucid with a $25 strike price, and they were able to make I believe 20 to 30% profit within like a minute. So our artificial intelligence technology will essentially give you a confidence level of how confident it is that this is going to be successful. When you add it to the geopolitical things that we just discussed, you're essentially setting yourself up for a hefty profit as well. Secondly, as you can see here, this is our artificial intelligent technology here has indicated that you should place a put option on RK. This was yesterday, right? RK yesterday, right? With a strike price of $60, expiration date. And, let's say it was a very successful trade. So this is how you make money on the downturn, okay? So does that make sense, guys? Are we clear with that? And if people that are watching that don't have access to this, again, there'll be a link down below under the membership Patreon subscription, and you guys will be able to have access to this. And if you want lifetime access, it's under our courses as well. But I wanted to show you guys how to use this to your advantage, how to make money on the downturn, right? Because it's not fair that big money is making money. Retail should also be making money as well. It's not fair. Okay, so you're going to also be getting some sweep options when the market opens, and these are golden sweeps. Golden sweeps these are expensive data to ascertain, and essentially what that is golden sweeps are particular put options that are more than $1 million. This is big money. What percent correct is that? So the algo, from my understanding, and again, it's better to have confluence of data. When you have confluences of data, you essentially basically increase your likelihood of success. I've seen anywhere between an 80% retention. If you incorporate fundamental analysis, technical analysis, sentimental analysis, and the artificial intelligent analysis, you'll be getting an 80%. That's from my understanding. And a lot of our members here have been getting those as well. I'm in the group, but I don't see those options. So which group are you in? Are you in the Al Stock Alerts? This is why I'm making this video, because I don't have that AI auto tab. Interesting. Okay, let's fix this live. Let's do this right now. So if you can, Eldad, if you can type me, can you please place your Discord username on the chat, please? What's your Discord username? You're in the mastering stock market. Okay, so check this out. This is what you need to do. So I posted a link. Are you logged in right now? What? Yeah, message me and I'll send you the link. But I put a link in the exclusive membership program that we have here, our exclusive member chat. And I put a link on how to access the AI. And I believe I also put a link under course announcements as well. You may have not seen it. You just messaged me. Did you message me on the Discord? Because I haven't gotten your message. Oh, I'm Eldad. I got you. Okay. Let me go ahead and set this up right now. Okay. So that's good. Thank you for letting me know. Let's get you started here. All right. All right. So I just put it up right now. You should see it in the morning. How are you doing? Perfect. So now let's get back into this right now. So here we are right now with the golden sweeps. Okay. And essentially what these are is when people are buying put options that are more than $1 million, they expect the stock to go down a little further. So again, follow the big money. Okay. So once the market opens, you guys are going to have access to all of this information for the people that are in the Al Stock Alerts and the Mastering Stock Market course. Now, again, if you haven't enrolled into this, I highly suggest you do so. You can cancel at any time. Everything that we offer costs $22,000 a year, and you're getting it for under $9.99 per month. And these are all of the things that are included. So I wanted to make this so you guys can see exactly how to use this information: dark pool level data, AI prediction models, you name it, we got it. Okay. And also our price targets as well with our Discord here. Okay. So this is what's happening right now. So if you have any questions, please send them to the chat. Other than that, I'll see you guys tonight for our intrinsic value calculation. I wanted to just give you a quick synopsis for the people that just joined. Rewatch this live because we went over a lot of some bearish technical indicators through technical analysis, such as a death cross and a head and shoulders pattern on the futures. We also went through a lot of stuff regarding Russia and a lot of issues regarding inflation and just problems that we are experiencing right now when it comes to this military force that's being inflicted on Ukraine. So with that, any last remarks, any last questions? Other than that, let me just give you guys a couple seconds here to type if you guys want. All right. So I will see you guys tonight, and best of luck. And please pray for the people in Ukraine. This is definitely a very sad day. So hopefully we can get through this, and maybe Russia can turn itself into peace. Okay. Bye-bye.